All right, so I think this is recording. Let's take a look at these three problems. We're solving quadratic equations, and for these three problems, all we're doing is isolating the x squared term using and solve by using the square root property. Um, in number one, uh, if we take the square root of each side, a step that is often left out, I guess we should talk for just a moment about this radical symbol. See, that radical symbol, by definition, is asking you what is the positive square root of 81. So when people put that x is equal to plus or minus 9, because 9 times 9 is 81, the step that's often left out is the fact on the left-hand side here that the principal square root of x squared is the absolute value of x. And the absolute value of x is always going to be 0 or positive. The square root of 81, well, the positive square root of 81 is 9. And then this solves to two solutions, x equals negative 9, x equals positive 9. But that step is just often left out. And I think students incorrectly think it is wrong to write down that the square root of 81 is plus or minus 9. That's just simply incorrect. All right. Let's do the next one here. So if we take the square root of each side, we have the absolute value of x. Now, 50 can be broken down into 25 times 2, and we can break apart multiplication. The square root of a times b is equal to the square root of a times the square root of b. So using that property of square roots, we can simplify and we get 5 times radical 2. Well, that splits into negative 5 radical 2 or positive 5 radical 2. And most of the time, we just simply write in shorthand notation. We just put a plus or minus there to indicate these two solutions. All right. Here in problem number 3, let's divide both sides by 16. X squared is equal to 25 over 16. If we take the square root of the left-hand side, we need to take the square root of the right-hand side. And remember, just a moment ago, I wrote down that there is a property that if you have multiplication, that splits apart. Well, if you have division, the same thing. If you have the square root of a divided by b, that's the square root of a divided by the square root of b. So here with the square root of x squared, we know that's the absolute value of x. And we can split this apart and take the square root of the numerator and the square root of the denominator separately. The square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 16 is 4. And really, I'm being lazy when I say square root. It's the principal square root. That's what this radical technically is. That's why I'm not putting a plus or minus in front of there yet. I mean, you can do that. It's just that I don't have a problem with you skipping this step. I just feel the need to explain that I think that in skipping that step that people incorrectly, they don't understand why they're putting plus or minus in front of this fraction for the solutions to this equation. So hey, I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.